Good evening, everyone. We are here today with Liz Morris. This is episode 3. She is running for re-election for Delano City Council. Councilwoman Liz Morris, this is her 11th year being as a city councilwoman. So we have her here today to explain herself, learn a little bit more about her, and see why she's re-running for city council. Good evening, Liz.
Good evening. Glad to be here, and thank you for inviting me to come. And basically, I running for re-election because I see we've done a lot of good things in the past 10 years here in Delano, and I think everyone can agree that we've had a lot of growth in the last 10 years in our community, and we've got a lot of new retail, new stores, a lot of amenities that we didn't have before. And so I want to keep that going. I want to keep the momentum going. And I think that's important to have a community that we can be proud of, and a community that we deserve to have, really, because we waited a long time for the city to grow. And so we've seen that growth now.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember us hearing, I was like, when's Walmart coming? Walmart's coming soon. And then as soon as Walmart's here, it's like everything is just starting to blow up. Everything's really expanding. We have the Maya Cinemas.
Right.
We have, I think Grace told us on the episode 1 that we have an Aldi coming in across the street from where the Maya is. So,
right.
I mean, that's great. Now, I know a lot of people have a lot of questions. A lot of things we see throughout the years. It's like we have main things like water prices, how's the quality of our water, what's going to be the improvements of that, streets. I mean, we see that all the time throughout the city, and that's probably one of the bigger issues that people want to see. So, I mean, what do you see as that's needed, or what's your goal through this next term if you were to get reelected? What's your goal to see the improvements for the city of Delano?
Yeah, basically, I think public safety has always been a big issue for our community, and but I think we're on the right track. We hired a new police chief, and we also he started a new gang unit, and so we're looking to see for all the good things that are going to come, with him, being as the chief of police now. So I think that concern has to be a big concern for everyone, is public safety. Secondly, I think we have to, I want to see, okay.
Just keep going. Keep going. Yeah, you're okay.
Okay. Secondly, I would like to see our community flourish and bringing more retail and more jobs to this community. I think, everywhere we look now, we see new buildings coming up, and that's so exciting when we see them, come up. And just to go back a little bit, some of the things we fought for when I first got on the council, we didn't have a Walmart out there. It took us 5 years to get Walmart here, because we fought with the courts over urban decay for the Walmart. They didn't want a super Walmart to come. And so some of the businesses here in town, fought against, that project.
It's funny because these super Walmart, now it's all Walmart. They don't even call it a super center or a Walmart.
I know.
It's all the same now. It's just, I think all of them follow the same floor plan.
Yeah.
As far as how they're built.
Exactly.
All of them mostly have the grocery store, which is great. There's a lot of options.
Yes.
Now, there is, how many seats available that are up for this election? It's
two
seats,
actually.
And there are, I believe it's 4, right? That
right,
are running?
4 running.
So you have yourself, Ruben Hill, Noel Ayon, and who's the fourth one? I forgot?
And Brian Osorio.
Brian Osorio, yes, Brian Osorio. Now, I know you have experience. You've been on the board, or you've been on the city council for many, many years. And now, in seeing that there are new people that are running, so it's kind of, there's 2 new and 2 incumbents that are running. What do you think sets yourself apart from the other 2 candidates that you'd probably be able to offer more for the city?
Yeah. Well, one, I think experience for one. I've been on the council enough. When I first started out, I didn't know anything about council, to be honest with you, anything about city government. And I've truly learned a lot about city government. And I think what sets me apart also is that I think through my experience, on the council, I know some of the things that are truly needed in this community. I've been invested in this community. I was born and raised in Delano, so I know the issues and concerns of our community. I know the people, and I'm very involved in a lot of organizations and communities, so I know a lot of people that I talk to, and some of their concerns that they are looking to see this town flourish also. And so we want to do that. We want to make this city a better place, that we can all be proud of, and that we can, all the amenities that we've not had in a long, long time. And, as they were here before and they went, and hopefully we want to get them back. And there's some other community resources that we want to tap on. Like I really feel a swimming pool is a really important thing for this community pool. It's important for this community because I think even children and adults all need to be exposed to water to learn to swim. And unless we have a community pool where children can go and learn how to swim, it's a safety issue, I believe, for them. And so many of them, if they go swim in the river, or they go swim in the ocean, they go swim in somebody's house or whatever, that's important, for them to have, those opportunities, to learn, how to swim. So those are one of the community resources we want to see. A lot of one of the other things is we want to see a ballpark, a community ballpark that adults and children can have tournaments out there. And so we've been working on that. We've been talking about that for the last 2 years. So those are projects that we would like to see come.
Now that'd be the I think I saw some talks about that for that community pool. Would that be at the new community center on 11th?
It's
I think
right
I
next
saw
door.
some drawings on it. So is that in the works, or is it still
That's
up
in
in
the
the air?
works.
It's
In
still
fact,
in
the
works?
last meeting we just approved the design of the pool. And so it's going to be great because it's going to be a family pool. Because it'll be a large pool, and then it'll be another pool on the other side for the kiddies and the younger kids, and they'll have a slide and all the amenities that children love to go to swim or to go have fun during the summer months. And we hope to keep the swimming pool open maybe 4 or 5 months out of the year to have the kids come out and have that opportunity to do.
No, I don't. No, will they be heated? Because I know we have like McMurtry and Bakersfield where it's a heated. You still see people within going into the fall and early spring where they still swim. Because, you still have swim teams, swim meets, and everything throughout the year where they train. So would it be like a heated pool, or is that something you don't know?
Actually, it's a recreation pool.
Recreation.
Yeah, we kind of talked about, some of them wanted an Olympic-sized pool, where the high school, can use. But that would have cost us a lot more money. As it is now, the pool is probably going to run us, with all the amenities, about $9 million. So if we wanted an Olympic-sized pool, so that the high school can use, all during the year, it would cost us a lot more money. And so, but basically, our purpose was to have families come out there, where adults can come and swim, and children can come and swim, and adults can come out and bring their kids out, and it'll have one of those shore entries,
like a beach
that
entry?
you can beach entry thing, and so that'll be kind of cool, and so the little younger ones can use it, the older ones can use it, and then some of the teenage kids and some of the other kids can use the lap pool.
So there will be some sort of like lap pool. So those.
It'll be a lap pool. There is a lap pool, but then there's a separate pool on the other side.
It just wouldn't be Olympic style. It would
No.
be more just a small lap area. Oh, okay, that's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Because that brings into question like like, what about other events? What if somebody ever wanted to hold like a small triathlon or a
Yeah.
small event like that? That's something that they could utilize.
Well, I think the pool can probably be used up for rental. So if you want to have a party out there, you can rent the pool out. If you wanted to have other recreational events, for fundraisers or whatever, the pool will be available. So, we're looking, to be able to use the pool as much as we can. Yeah.
Well, that's great. Now, one probably the most biggest issue that anybody would probably ask anybody is probably going to be the water. Our water in Delano. What is your stance and what is the current status of our water here in Delano?
Okay. I think we're doing really well. We have new well, we had some wells that were in trouble. In the past, our arsenic levels in our wells, we always met state standard. But several years ago, the state raised the standard, and so many cities weren't meeting the standard of the arsenic level. And we did have, several wells, that weren't meeting that standard, but we have worked on those wells, and I think we only have one well right now that's not, functioning as we would like it to, because it's kind of drawing. We've dug so deep, and we just can't get any more water,
Just
actually
kind of
out
like
of it.
sand.
Yeah,
sediment or
exactly,
anything.
exactly. So
That's interesting because, I mean, when we get these reports here in the city, we get the report saying what's in the water and everything, but it doesn't really say that the state had raised the limit. It just said that it wasn't met or it's within this area, or maybe I didn't read it correctly or something, because I'd never heard that before. I never know. I know state
Yeah.
changes stuff all the time,
Yeah.
and cities have to comply, and
Right,
everybody has to go
exactly.
according to whatever the new standard is. But that's interesting to know, and that's good to
Yeah.
hear that
a really good thing people don't know about is we have a biota new filter it's a trial run here in Delano, the very first one anywhere. And so we received a grant, and they asked us if they could trial their particular product that they were making, because it's a very complicated filter, to filter water, to clean the water from arsenic. And that particular project has been successful, and we look to see that project going in many, many, many cities. But it was first tried, here in Delano, and we've had the very first one, and very successful, because it's filtering out, all the arsenic level in the, those reservoirs that hold water. So we're continually working, on our water issues right now. We are going to change one of the tanks that we have right now, where the Senior Citizen Center is?
Yes.
Yeah, the new one, that big tank that's right beside it. Yes, we've just purchased another site, to move that particular water tank, over to another site, which will be the one on Randolph Street. Randolph is one by the post office, by the
that's
school across the
I
street.
think it was a newer
Yes.
well that was put, or new reservoir that was put in for that. Okay.
So we just made a deal with the hospital, because it was hospital, so we traded kind of, some land there, or bought land from them, so that we can move that particular tank, over. So, it's an ongoing process. We're always working on water. And water has been a big issue here in this town, because, we've always had, we have a new sewer plant, that went out at the new center, at the new site where the water. I'm trying to remember what the name of the street is. It's way out there in the country. But anyway, where they're filtering, and the wastewater plant is what it is, and we expanded that. And there was an issue there only because we had to borrow $33 million to expand, the wastewater plant. And what happened is that we would not be able to have any growth in this community had that wastewater plant not been built or expanded, because we were working that wastewater plant at a level of 5.5 or 6, and it's only a 4 level wastewater plant. And so we were overworking it. So that means that Walmart would not be able to come in. All those stores that you see out there, that new development, would not be able to come in because we could not handle the wastewater, at that plant. And so we knew, in order for this community to grow, that we had to have a new wastewater expansion out there in order to accommodate all the new businesses that were going to come into this town. And so, therefore, luckily, we were able to get that grant at almost like a 0% or 1%, loan. And so, unfortunately, I know there was a big uproar in the community about the water rates being raised, but that's part of that raise, is that we're paying for that loan, is for that $33 million expansion that we have. 22 million of that also was borrowed because we had 8 wells that weren't meeting compliance when they changed the new level of arsenic level in the wells, and we had to take care of those. And so we got that one at almost a 0%. Now, when we look at the debt that we have, who pays for that? We do. We're the citizens of this community. This is our house, and it's not like we can't get, we've been able to get a low rate, percentage on the payback of those loans, but really they don't have, grants to help pay off debt, So unfortunately, we pay. And so that's why our wastewater rates, went up.
I mean, I noticed a little bit of a change. I mean, it wasn't like a huge change. I know some people, I know the demographics of some of the people here in the community. I mean, a little bit of a change goes a lot for them. I saw a little bit of an increase, but I mean, it is kind of expected because, with time, things do rise, wages have to increase. You do have to cover all aspects. You have to upgrade equipment, upgrade the lines. Because, we've seen throughout town when lines go and you have sinkholes or you have anything that comes throughout the town. That's gotta go sometime. Because I know there's a lot of old lines. I think that's what, is that what was done down Main Street when they were going down the alleyways right there? That was all old.
They're replacing all the lines because the lines have been there for like 100 years now, and many of them are needing, dire repair because they're just busting, all over the place. And that's why you see a lot of holes that are being dug up everywhere when those lines break. But it's because the lines are so old, and part of that, money that you pay for water pays, for those repairs that are done.
Awesome. Well, that is it's very, very good, very educating. Of course, for all the people to hear and to really to get a little bit more insight on that, because most people don't get that.
Yeah.
Everybody always says, well, you want to learn more, you go to your city council meetings, you go to there.
Yeah.
There's
and I think,
much
Andrew,
to learn, but having someone like you to come out and kind of talk about that and just kind of go in depth about it, it really brings new light to the process and to everything that's going into it.
And a lot of people don't understand what really wastewater, when you talk about a wastewater plant, that means that every time you flush your toilet, every time you take a shower, every time you turn on your faucet, every time you wash your clothes, that water has to go somewhere, and it goes to a processing plant. It goes to the wastewater plant, and then they purify the water, and then send it out. Some farmer buys the water, for his field and stuff like that to recycle the water out that way. But, I think people don't understand. You say, yeah, well, we need it. Yeah, but, then it's our responsibility to pay, for whatever expansion it goes on in this community. So.
Well, is there any last words? Anything else you would like to say to all those that are going to tune into this?
No, I hope that everyone, can see or seeing the results of the service that we've done here in this community in the last 10 years. I think we've done a tremendous amount of development in our community to make it a better place. And I think we're all kind of happy now. We got a theater, and of course we're working with the developers, and we keep telling them, okay, we need restaurants now, okay? We want to do dinner and a movie in the same town, So they said, you probably will see that in the next couple of years. So, we're looking forward, and we're still on them, to bring us something. So
I think everybody agrees we need a few good sit-down restaurants in this town. We need some really good sit-down restaurants and some little bit more variety. I mean, everybody really looks at Delano. So you got a couple options. You got burger joints and you got Mexican food. But
we're looking for a steakhouse or something like that.
Yeah, something a little bit more where
yeah.
the family can go, or you can have a nice dinner instead of, because we have to drive 30 miles either direction
exactly.
to get something,
exactly.
or at least go to some.
Yeah, and that's not good because our sales tax goes there.
Yeah,
and that's why it's so important that people shop
local
in town, and that's why Walmart has been good for us, and all that whole development out there has been good because whatever money you spend out there, your sales tax stays in our community, and that's what helps us be able to offer more services in this community. So, we hope, and I want to, be part of that. And we see a good movement going, and I want to continue that momentum, going. And I think I happen to stand for, honesty and integrity, and I try to do the best that I can, for everyone in this community. And I have a passion for this town. Like I said, I was born here, and I think we all deserve better in our community, and that's why I want to continue to run and see those great things happen in our community.
It's good to hear you say that because we see that on your signs around town. Keep the momentum going. So
right.
We want to keep that going. Thank you very much, Liz. Thank you for being here on this episode.
Thank you for having me.
We look forward to everyone viewing this. We also look forward to you tuning back in because we will have the other candidates on here. We do have Noel Ayon, Brian Osorio that will be coming on, as well as Joe Lindau, which is for the short term. They will all be on here for the podcast, so you can hear from all those candidates and see who do you think would be the best choice for our community here in Delano. So again, thank you very much, Liz.
Well, thank
you for being here, and you have a wonderful day.
Thank you.